Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my next Pan That Palette update as well as my June makeup basket picks. So let's go ahead and get into it. For those of you who may just be tuning into my video for the first time, the palette that I am working on finishing up almost in its entirety is this one right here, which is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off by showing you my progress, talking about how often I used each of the shades, and then I will set some usage goals for the remainder of the month of June. And then I'm going to get into my new makeup items and repeating makeup items in my everyday makeup basket for the month of June. Many of them you have seen multiple times before, but that is because I am working on finishing things up hopefully this month, since June marks the halfway point of the year. So let's go ahead and get started with my Pan That Palette update for June. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Naked 3 palette, show you my progress. I have made quite a lot of progress, but first of all, here is the picture that I took back on May 6th, and then we're gonna go ahead and look at what it looks like now. So here is what we are looking like. As you can see, I have more pan in the palette than I did back in May, which is of course the goal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run through them. So this was the shade Strange. I did finish this back in April. This shade is Dust. I used this one additional time in the month of May for a total of 17 uses, and I did officially pan it on May 11th. This shade is Burnout. This one did not have pan last month, but I used it 8 times, and now as you can see, there is pan. Limit I used 7 times, Buzz I used 6 times, and Trick I used 2 times. Nooner is the other shade that I managed to get pan in. I used this a total of 8 times in the month of May. I only used Liar 1 time. I used Factory 2 times, and I used Mugshot 5 times. So obviously my goal is going to be to hit pan in this one. You can see there's quite a nice dip. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in June, but that would be really cool if I can manage to get pan in all of these shades and then just work on finishing them off, because I am not planning on panning these last 2 shades. So this is the shade Dark Side. I did not use this at all in May. And then the shade Dark Heart I did use 1 time. So I have no plans on actually panning these 2, but the rest of this palette I think is completely doable, and hopefully I will have pan in Mugshot by the end of June. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and turn our attention to the items that I'm going to be putting in this month's makeup basket. So let me tip you on down again and we'll go through them again. Many of them are repeats, but I have reasons for that, which I will talk about as we go through the items. All right, now it is time to take a look at the items in my makeup basket. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the repeats from the previous month just to get those out of the way, and then I will talk about the new items. All right, so I am still working on this Aesthetica powder. I did purchase a NYX powder that's in a darker shade and is a mattifying powder, and I mixed them together because the Aesthetica powder by itself was not mattifying enough, and it also was too pale of a shade for me now that I am getting more color because it is warmer outside. So I did mix those together. So there's more powder in here than there was last month, but that is because I poured the entire container of the NYX powder in here and just mixed them together, and it's working a lot better for me now. I also still have this number 7 translucent perfect light pressed powder, which I use for my under eyes, so it's looking like this. Still plenty of product in there. Will not be replacing this for a while. I also still have the same bronzer. This is the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze in the shade Fair to Light. I don't use this very often, so it's not getting a ton of use, but you can see there is a dip there, but this is going to be around for a long time still. I also still have my Benefit Roller Liner and my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I use this whenever I need to, so not super often. This is in the shade Vanilla. That is my preferred shade. It's looking like this, so we still have lots of product in there. But those are the other two that are going to carry over from previous makeup baskets. And the last one is my concealer. So I am still working on these e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealers. I have two shades. I've talked about how I mix them to get like a better match for my under eyes. As you can see, we are getting down to the bottom. I did pull the stopper out, so I'm hoping that these will be finished up within the next couple of months, just because I've had them for a bit and I am almost done with them. I feel like that should be doable, but as you can see, they have gotten lots and lots of use, but I am looking forward to being able to try something different once these are finally gone. So now we're gonna go ahead and talk about some newer items that I maybe haven't had in previous baskets. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my brow products. So I did purchase this Ulta Beauty brow primer. This is very similar to the Benefit Bravo, I think is what it's called. So you just twist out the product like this. I like this. This was quite inexpensive, so I probably will purchase this again, but I have been using this every day before I do my brow makeup. For my brows, I am using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in the shade Ash Brown. You can see though, I really only use one of the colors, so we're making a nice dent there. And then I do top it off with the Benefit Gimme Brow. I have had this for a while. You can see like it's starting to get scratched up. It's not looking its best, but I am hoping to finish that this year just to get it out of my collection because I've had it for a long time, hence why I've decided to go ahead and continue using it. So those are my brow products. I did purchase a new foundation. So this is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. This is in the shade Light 45W. Target carries this now, so I was able to just grab it on like a Target run. If you watched my Project Pan video, which I'll link up in the card, you'll know that the foundation I was planning on using went bad, so I did purchase a new one, and that is this one right here. I am really enjoying this. The other new item that I just opened is a new mascara. This is the Milani Highly Rated Lash Extensions Tubing Mascara. This is the first time I've ever used a tubing mascara, but I am really enjoying this. I think it looks really nice on my lashes, and I just opened this like a couple days ago, so this is going to be with us for a while, but this is my new mascara. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about cheek products. I am solely focusing on these two right here because these are in my Project Pan. So I have the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Stick in Work, and then I have this Too Faced lipstick in the shade Birthday Suit. So I'm using these both as a cream blush, so I am not putting any new blushes in my makeup basket for that reason, because I just want to focus on these to get a little bit more use. I would actually like to pan this one by the end of the year, so we'll see how that goes. And then for lip products, I took out the lip glosses to focus solely on this Bite Lip Balm because this is also in my Project Pan, and I want to get this done by the end of June. So I figured I'd go ahead and move the lip glosses out that weren't getting a lot of use and actually just focus on this one to hopefully finish this up by the end of the month. So now let's talk about the two things that I'm adding to this month's makeup basket that are a little bit more fun. So I have decided to add the Clarity Cosmetics So Mermazing palette into my makeup basket. And I've also decided to add this little e.l.f. quad, the Mint Melt quad, just because I feel like these shades are kind of fun for summer. I have not used this in a while, so kind of want to give it a little bit of love, and I really love these shades. I feel like I can go ahead and complement the shades in my Naked 3 palette with both of these. This one I might just wear on its own. We'll kind of play around with it and see, but I wanted to go ahead and give this a little bit of love because it's kind of gotten lost, so I'm adding that one in. And then I am really loving the So Mermazing palette. I have it on today. I love the shimmers in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you what we're looking like. So this is the palette right here. The shade that I really like, I've used a lot of Beach Please. Today I have on Don't Be Shellfish. I've also used a lot of Oh Ship, but all of these shimmers are just absolutely gorgeous, and I do like these kind of pastel-y shades as well for summer, so I feel like this will be a fun palette to play around with in the month of June, in addition to my goals for this one, but I can always top those Naked 3 shades with these shimmers here, and I think it makes a really pretty look. But really love this palette. I heard about this one from Sarah Rose. I know she also really likes this palette, and I can see why, because this is a lot of fun to play around with. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this look at my Pan That Palette update and my makeup basket for the month of June. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.